When it comes to Pandas, it also provides simple APIs to write the data back to files. Let us write the revenue per order along with order ID to a file. We'll be using order items dataset to compute revenue per order. Here are the steps which you need to follow before writing data frame to a file. Make sure you have the data frame that is supposed to be written to file. In this case, it is nothing but a data frame which contains revenue per order. You need to ensure that you have right permissions on the folder under which files are supposed to be written. Make sure to use appropriate keyword arguments to write the data frame into file as per the requirements. In this case, let's try to write the output using the column names such as order item order ID, using which we are trying to compute the revenue, and also other metrics such as min, max, count along with the revenue per order. So all the 5 columns should be written to a file. We will see what are keyword arguments that are available on top of to_CSV, the API which will be used to write the data frame into CSV format. And then we will use the most appropriate keyword arguments as per our requirement to write all those 5 fields into the file. Let's run this Python notebook. It will take care of creating orders and order items data frame for us. We should be able to get the help on to_CSV by using any data frame name. You can actually say data frame name .to_CSV, then question mark, and you can see all the keyword arguments here. So in our case, we want to write revenue per order into the file with the header. With all the data frame names as columns. We have to go to the data frame and map to these keyword arguments and start using whatever we want depending upon our requirement. We want to write the output in the form of comma separated file. If you want to change the delimiter, you can change as well. So in this case, we don't need to specify with respect to SEP because we are trying to write using the default itself. However, if you wanted to write using colon or semicolon or some other delimiter, we have to override this SEP to that value. Also, when it comes to columns, by default, it is none. If you say header equal to false and columns equal to none, then there won't be any attributes that will be written to the data frame. Only data will be written. If you want to use the data frame attribute names as header, you just have to say header equal to true. However, if you wanted to override the names, you can also specify names using columns. In our case, we don't need to pass any of these things because we'll be using the data frame names itself as header. However, if you want to use some other names, you have to pass all those names as part of columns as a list. It takes a list as an argument. Now, whether to use index or not, we need to understand the data frame. Let's compute revenue per order. Then we will revisit whether this is supposed to be used or not. By default, it will be used. If you don't want to use it, you just have to say index equal to false. Similar to this, depending upon your requirements, you have to explore all these keyword arguments and start using those while writing data frames into the files. Now, we also understood that we need to have appropriate permissions to write the files into the folders. Let's review those now. So far, we are using a special folder called as /data/retaildb in our environment. In your environment, if you set up the folders the same way as we are, you might have write permissions directly and you should be able to write the data directly into that location. But if you are using our environment, or if you are seeing our environment and understand the permissions on these folders, the actual source folder /data/retaildb is owned by root, and the user which I have used to log in only have read-only access on that folder. However, each and every user will have a home directory and the user will have write permissions on it. Let's review that home folder and understand what type of permissions we have, and also we will create a folder structure to which we will write the data frame to. Now, Python provides a library called as getPass. You should be able to get the username using which we have logged in using getPass.getUser like this. Now, username will have the name using which we have logged into this server. In this case, I have logged in as ITversity. Now, I have created a variable called as base_directory. The username is nothing but a placeholder which will be replaced with this value. That's why you are seeing home ITversity data retaildb. Also, I want to create output directory variable using revenue per order under this folder. As of now, these are nothing but strings. The folders might be there or might not be there. We are not accessing the folders yet. We are just creating the path as a string. Now, we can validate whether the folder exists or not either by using shell commands like this, or we can also use Python based approach, which I will be demonstrating in a moment. You can see that there is a folder called as revenue per order. Let's remove that revenue per order folder. Here also I want to make it dynamic. So whoami is a Linux command which will give us the user using which we have logged in Linux. Now you can see that there is no revenue per order folder under this location. It is saying total 0. This is already ran and the folder is dropped. Let me move this one level up. Now we should be able to use a library called as subprocess, and we should be able to execute Linux commands using subprocess.call like this. So in case if you want to use Python based approach, you can say rm-rf and the output directory, which is nothing but this one, which is pointing to the same location. So this command can be broken into 3 values in the list: rm-rf and output directory. They are all separated by space, and you can pass them as a list to call. It will take care of deleting the folder if it exists. As the folder doesn't exist, it will not do anything. If you want to create the folder using subprocess, this is how you can create the folder. You can also say mkdir-p and the path, which is nothing but this one, to create the folder using Linux based approach. So in this case, I'm using Python based approach to create the folder. Now we should be able to validate by using subprocess.checkOutput. You can see that the folder doesn't have any files now. Even though the folder is created with the name revenue per order, it doesn't have any files. That's why it is saying total 0. Now this is the location from which we actually read the data, data retail DB. You can see that the folders and files are owned by, and all others have only read permissions. They don't have write permissions, and hence using ITversity, I will not be able to use this folder to actually write the files to. That's why we have created subfolders under home directory, which is owned by ITversity, and we are using that to actually write the data frame in the form of a file. Now you can actually preview orders as well as order items. In this case, we are interested in order items. We want to get revenue for each order ID. So this is the order ID. For each order ID, we want to get the revenue as well as some additional metrics such as count, min, max, etc. So this is the one which will actually give us the output we are looking for. Let me add a cell here and let me run this. We have seen group by and ag as part of the earlier topics. I am running this. It will take care of giving us some min, max, count along with order item order ID. If you see, order item order ID is highlighted here because this is index, as we have used order item order ID as part of the group by. Now using this, we want to write all these fields into the file. As index equal to true by default, we should be able to write without any issue. But sometimes it might not be the index. So for example, in this case, we can say reset index. If we say reset index, then order item order ID will not be index anymore. There will be an implicit index, which is nothing but this one. Now, if you wanted to write this data frame, by default, even this one will be written. We might not want this. In that case, we can say index equal to false. Also, if you look at order items itself, and if you want to write to file, you can see that even this one will be written. If you don't want to write this, instead if you want to write only these fields into the file, then you have to say order items.tocsv, give the path to which the file should be written to, then index equal to false, then this will be skipped. Otherwise this will be written. That is the relevance of the index. In our case, as our output contain order item already as index, we just have to use the default, which is nothing but index equal to true. So if you go here, index equal to true, and hence we can leave it as default. So path, home, ITversity, data, retail DB, revenue per order, that is the folder, and then file name to which we have to write. Separator is comma itself, and hence we can ignore this. We don't need to specify the argument. We want header, even this one can be ignored. We want index also. Hence we can ignore this also. We just have to pass the path and the data will be written to the file in the form of CSV. Now let's go through the usage of to_CSV here. You can also write to JSON if you want. In this case, first I am writing to JSON. You can actually review the location and you can see the file here. However, it will be written as one JSON document. I don't want to evaluate that JSON document because using Jupyter Notebook, it will actually throw this warning. If you want, you can actually go to the underlying file system and you should be able to review. The only reason I am demonstrating using to_JSON is to make sure that you understand there are bunch of APIs which can be leveraged to actually write the files to different file formats. Now the primary focus is on to_CSV. When it comes to the header, I want count to be item count and revenue to be revenue like this. Otherwise it will be count and sum. To rename the columns, we can use the rename function and we can specify the existing aggregated column names with the columns using which we want to rename them. Now you can actually review the output. These are the columns which will be used as header in the file. Now we should be able to run this to write the data frame into a file called as revenue per order, You can validate by running ls-ltr on revenue per order folder. You can see we have both JSON as well as CSV. You should be able to run this to actually see first few lines to ensure that we got all the column names along with the right delimiter and the output which we are looking for. You can see that the column names are nothing but order item, order ID, revenue, min, max, and item count, whatever we have seen here. Also, we got the index because by default index equal to true. You can see the order item, order ID values here and rest of the values along with the order item, order ID. This is how you should be able to leverage to_CSV and write a data frame to CSV. In this case, comma is the default delimiter. If you want to use a different delimiter, you can specify that using sep keyword argument. Make sure you are comfortable with this so that you complete the end-to-end cycle by reading the data from file into a data frame, process the data depending upon your business requirements, and write the final output to the files. That will actually complete the whole cycle of data processing pipeline or data engineering pipeline.